Death, how do you handle it? Oh, let me tell you, there's more than one way. If there's going to be a game involving dice, and the stakes are your life, I mean, the reward is treasure or gold or gems or I'm not going to go into all the things they could be rewarded on, but the stakes are death. And the way you determine if you die is a random roll of the dice. Have any of you ever gambled? Any of you gambled? Do you know what happens with gambling? Do you know the expression, the house always wins? Eventually, you will get a bad roll. And you know what that means? If the stakes are death, I'll let you take a moment to put that together. Moment's over! Think about it. If your characters are going to die, and you're going to play this game, and you know they're going to die, why are you not prepared for them dying? Why not? So you've got two options. We'll go with both of them. One is just let them die. Horribly painful death. Let them die. You heard me. If you're going to let them die, how do you handle it in such a way that they say, oh, thank you. Thank you so much for killing me. I really deserved that. How do you get there? You answer that question, and you save me 2 hours worth of video explanation. That's that simple. First of all, you set them up so they know the character's going to die by prophecy, by word, by vision, by dream. You make them know that there's a good chance one of them will die. And the one who's most keen to volunteer, you make sure that they're the ones who die, right? I can give you 20 different examples for how to do this, but you've got this, right? You've got this. If not, let me know in the comments, and I will get you more ideas for how to kill your character so they say, please kill me. Okay? Good. You want to make sure that you celebrate the death. Yay! Celebrate that death. Doesn't that seem a bit weird? This is what a funeral and a wake and all those things are about. Celebrating the character's death. There are some pretty prominent YouTubers out there that say, no, just put them in immediately, right away. When we were kids, we had games where the other characters were low on rations and they would cannibalize the body. I don't recommend that. Just my point being that you should make sure that the character has some sort of validation or reason for their death, meaning behind killing them. And if not, if it's just, oh, look at that Neo Audiag was busy killing poop and it's happened to eat your character, sucks to be you, well, then you're just going to, let's just keep going, shall we? The other way to handle death is to make it go somewhere. Now you're thinking, that's kind of a strange recommendation. Make it go somewhere. How can it go somewhere? They're dead. This is the problem, is it's the end of the game, right? No, not really. Use the Force. In every fantasy, there's something that's sort of beyond death. You can just go straight to using a ghost if you want. You can just have that sucker die. I would recommend, if you're going to use ghosts, do something more complex than what's in whatever manual you're using. Something more like the stuff that's used in the Dark World stuff, White Wolf supplements. I'll leave a comment in the commentary below, and you can look that up and find out what kind of cool things they do. Give you a hint, there are fetters which bind you to this world, and if you stay too long in this world, you get a certain kind of madness that builds up and kind of messes you up. So you've got an incentive to stay and finish off your stuff, but incentive to go as well. And both of these things are good. If you've had a character death that was poorly and ill-timed, a ghost form would allow them to finish that off. And if you've got a death that's pretty much dragging on too far, you know when to put the closing time song on and tell everyone to just go home so you can sweep the bar down, clean the glasses, and set up for the next day. There are a few other options for how you can handle death so that it's more meaningful to the player, but a lot of them involve having that player play a mini campaign on their own. In D&D, for example, there are very few rules, if any, for who's on the other side, aside from random monsters in the astral plane, which is extremely anticlimactic. Oh, look, a mind flayer. What's it doing in the astral plane? I don't have a brain anymore. What's it going to eat? If you want to use something like the motif of afterlife, you could use death, angel, demon, or whatever's appropriate, and maybe have an entourage so you've got extra few side quests you can go on. If they get to the outer planes and someone there is determined they have to go back, especially if they're elven and they should reincarnate, well then back they go. And there's no hard and fast rule that a spirit or soul has to go anywhere particular. It may easily go into an item if it's enchanted. It could easily go into a ring of mind shielding. It's right in the rules. Demons are known to possess objects. Your players could possess objects. Demons are not known to even need a magical or non-magical object. It could just gain runes or a dim glow, and then ta-da! On the other side of it, Gary Gygax designed Dungeons & Dragons to have raise and resurrect options because he found players were getting very attached to their characters. If that's the case and you got investment, don't blow it. Don't. Make sure the character has another chance. My favorite, which used to be possible by both wizards and druids, now it's druids only, the reincarnation spell. That thing rocks. If you look at the material components, yeah, they can be a bit expensive, but it doesn't require any gems. It does not require any gems. That means if you're a nice and kind and generous DM, you could allow the players to accumulate these oils and unguents, these oils and special oils at a rate of 5 gold pieces per day. And they could do this in advance. That'd be smart. If they knew that somebody was going to die eventually, having a reincarnation on hand would be brilliant. If you want to move in the direction of not slaughtering your players off forever, you've got options. Reincarnation is one of the best ones. If you have the components, blood, hair, other stuff, as long as there's this 10-day window hasn't been a problem, and that 10-day window is only a problem because theoretically they go behind some sort of gate, who's going to stop you in limbo from going back to the prime material? You can have your players who survived go on quests around this.